there was a TikTok Leah sent me, and she's like, "Why were we grinding on each other in front of our English teacher at dances?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah! Like, why did I think it would be appropriate to grind with someone in front of Mr. So weird. What are we
Well,
doing?"
I wasn't grinding in high school. I was very in the closet, so I was doing none of that.
Yeah, I just spent a lot of time with the sausages hanging in your basement.
You're gonna kill me.
Sorry, that was kind of.
That's hilarious. No, I love it.
Why did I put makeup on for this?
Welcome to another episode of Graphic Content, the podcast where we talk all things who, why, and the what the fuck moments along the way. Today's guest is the founder and owner of The Art Lab, a children's art studio based in Windsor, Ontario. Recently transforming her brick and mortar space into a fully mobile creative service, she now brings her passion for process-based art play to kids across Ontario. A firm believer that art is for everyone, she creates hands-on art experiences that spark imagination and joy. She is an artist. She is a dreamer. She's been the wind beneath my wings for over 20 years. Welcome
Yes.
to Graphic Content, Samantha Walker.
Thank you. I've been waiting for this moment since. When did you start this?
In March.
Since March.
From this moment.
Since we've been together. I don't know the words.
Oh my
Let's
God.
not sing. That's not our strong point.
No, well, speak for yourself.
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, I just like love the fact that you took the time out of your schedule to do this. Like I know this is like a new venture for me, and I don't know, like I knew eventually I'd get you on, and finally at the end of almost season 1 we are here, so thank you so much.
Always have time for you, Gio. Always.
I mean,
Thanks for having me.
how much time has there been now?
Too much. My
I
mom
was
wants to adopt you, so
I mean, she honestly could at this point.
right? Maybe she should be on your podcast.
I would die. I'd be like, "Hi, Kathy." Talk to
She'd
me.
be like, "Let's talk about you. How's your life?"
You know, I honestly was thinking about for like the next batch of content that I do, I want to have one episode where somebody interviews me. I think it would be an interesting like switch. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Just like one,
Yeah.
not I don't care about more than one, but just one. Or like even like I want to bring on like a therapist and have them like put me through therapy, like
I
on like
think that would be an amazing episode that I would like to watch. Because even
right.
one of your episodes, someone was analyzing you and like talking about your personality, and I was like, only the people that know Geo know the level of truth that this
Crazy.
person is speaking right now.
The level of crazy that I have.
Right?
I love this first batch. Like I love the fact that I've been able to talk to so many people about their work and what they do, and I'm gonna keep that going. But I also am like, how do I make it different? Like maybe like a different series or something. And I think it would be really fun. Like maybe you and I could do something where we like create art and we like just like shoot the and then
Yeah.
can like make art. And I want to do this like an in-person thing.
Yes. Even this interview, I was like, should we do this in person?
I
I
know.
know.
The
I
setup is
know.
so complicated. Like I don't have
Yeah.
the I don't have the
The
resources.
episode would be 5 hours long, and we'd just be talking over each other the whole time. So I'm gonna try not to do that.
Well, what I eventually I think I want to get into Twitch, like do live art, and I would love it would be so fun to do like live interviews. I think that'd be really fun. And have people
Yes,
like call in.
people love that. People love to watch you like doing something, even if it's like the most mundane thing, and then add in a conversation. Even better.
Do you ever get into that? Like were you ever watching stuff online where you're like, I'm not like a mukbang or something?
Yeah, I watched this one girl on live TikTok, and she just paints. Like she just paints stuff, and she goes so slow, and like I watch
It's
it.
like
I don't know.
mesmerizing.
I mean, she's hot, so I think that's part of it. I don't think she's hot, okay? But
She's objectively hot.
Yeah, and she's just like painting, and I just feel like I'm just like hanging out with someone that likes the same thing as me. And there's the guy that has the drill with the canvas that spins, and you can like pick colors, and then he'll squirt paint on it, and then he turns the drill on, and it like spins around and sprays everywhere, and then
I
you can
feel
buy
like
the
I've seen
painting.
that.
That's
That's
kind of stuff.
fun.
These are the kind of lives I'm into.
Do people make money off that? Because that's the thing. I'm like,
Yes,
is that like okay?
Americans, not I.
But we
But
can make money on. I think we can make money on Twitch, right?
yeah, I think so.
I don't know, like the whole digital thing. Like, I mean, obviously, like I'm not like 20, and so for me to get into it is like a different realm. But
Hmm.
I'm like, how can I like expand the brand in a way that actually makes sense,
Hmm.
and I'm not like hustling for money in a way. You know what I mean? Like the whole online thing is like, I mean, this process has been interesting because I'm like, here I am, like to the world, and it's like I've already gotten hate comments. Did I tell you?
Hey, you're not doing anything if you're not getting hate
I
comments. You might
know,
as well turn it off now if you're not getting hate comments.
I know.
Anybody who's done anything, they hate you. That's one valuable lesson I've learned in this process.
Yeah. It is a good sign, honestly. Like I told it to a couple friends and they're like, "Oh my god, that's so awful." I'm like, "No, like that's
Yeah,
engagement."
this is
This
what we want. Talk to
yes.
me, please. I can handle it. You were already bullied for a good portion of your childhood. These are the best people to keep it going with.
Yes. Literally like my armor is so thick, like there's no way.
Oh no, that's sad. Okay, this interview is gonna have me crying the whole time because like I laugh, I cry, and you just make me laugh nonstop.
I
You
love
know,
it.
this is the thing you're gonna be editing out of me. Is this? I do that in real life too. Okay. Anyways.
No, listen, I love the fact that when I started this venture, and I say this almost every episode, like I was like, I have so many interesting people in my life. They are doing such amazing things. I really am galvanized by seeing people carve their own path out. Like they're like, I don't want to go about life in the way that I'm told I'm supposed to,
Yes.
because it's just like sometimes for not for everybody. Like I'm not poo-pooing
Mm-hmm.
anyone's life, but for people like us, we're like, "No, this is not for me."
We could never. We tried, and we just didn't work out for us.
Miserable.
Miserable.
So like going back to that, like, because I do want to go back a bit. So for you, like we've always been creatives. Like even in high school, we met like I think 21 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was 14. I remember grade 9. So um and no wait, 23 years ago. Oh
Oh my god.
I shaved off a couple years.
Keep them shaved.
Yeah, yeah. So 23 years ago, and like we were
Mm-hmm.
always creatives. Like in school, we both were in art class. Like we kind of bonded over that to on
Mm-hmm.
some level. And then once we went to post secondary, we both went our ways into like creative industries. Like you working with children, you were in ECE and at Ryerson. And
Mm-hmm.
so like going back to that time, that was like I think that like shifted for you, right? Like what was like a pivotal moment during that era of your life that made you feel like, oh, there was like a magic around working with kids?
It was one experience in general that always sticks out to me, not like one day, but the experience of working for the before and after school program at the YMCA. I remember just doing things that I wanted to do.
Mhm.
I loved Pinterest. I'm the biggest Pinterest bitch on the planet. All the I want to make this, I want to do this, I'm going to like all day. Like that was fun for me. So I would just translate that into my job where I was like, you know what? I really want to make these weird little mouse sculptures or something random. And so I would just bring the stuff to my class and be like, you guys want to make these mouse things? And they
That's
were
so fun.
always down and they were always excited about it. And the result of that was where I was like, holy, like this is something because I remember every kid wanted to be in my class. They wanted to be in my daycare and they didn't want to go home either. So their parents would come to pick them up and instead of being like, Mom, like I can't wait to go home, like they were like, what are you doing here, Mom? Like
Get out!
busy. And like all the other kids, like at the end of the day, would be like, "What's Sam's group doing today? I want to be in daycare." I'm
I
like, "You
love
want to
it.
be in daycare? Are you kidding me?" And it was just their joy, and just there was some serious. I was like in a downtown Toronto low income neighborhood school, so there was a lot of behavioral issues due to different circumstances and things like that, and these activities and things were literally stopping the kids from being bad and
Mhm.
getting in trouble. There was no time to punch anybody. There was no time to throw something at me. There was
Yeah.
no, and so I was able to have like such good like control over my group in terms of behavior management, where the other teachers like kind of just like gave up because it's like every day was just kind of like just chaos. And the parents, I remember they were seeing like what I was doing. They're like, oh, the kids want to switch to Sam's class. And I was like, your kids, like your bad kids. Like, we're doing crafts over here. Like, but and then some they would come over and then all those behaviors would be gone. So I
Mhm.
was like, oh my God, like the key to all of the chaos and everything is to find something that the kids really enjoy that's going to keep them engaged for a longer period of time. Everyone's
Mhm.
different. And that was a way of doing it. Because that everyone's kind of looking for that, right? Every
Mhm.
every teacher wants to have that. It's not like they're just lazy and they don't want to do it. They don't know the answer. And I was like, this is the answer for me. This is a tool that I have that I can actually do that can help me survive and have fun. That was definitely that experience. And then I really just took off from there where my whole like everything I was interested in, everything I wanted to do was just art with kids. My Pinterest level really took off at that point.
It shot out.
I, oh yeah. Oh yeah. They should give me royalties, but
Honestly, I hope that for you.
that would be my dream. Maybe I should put that on my goal list.
I feel like for you and like having known you now for so long, like we're besties, like we've been in each other's lives forever,
Mhm.
almost half our lives. It's
Mhm.
I think about the fact that your approach to it is so authentic. It's so you. Like you're that adult that goes in and hangs out with the kids and can relate to them in a way where it's like they see you and they're like, "Oh, this older person," but your energy just goes right in with them and you it's almost like you disarm them from being like this is an authority figure because you're like, "Hey, I'm cool and I'm chill and we're here to make art and let's just let down our hair for the day and have a good time." And having worked with you like and run some of the classes, the summer programs at the university, like I see it in action and it's like it to me I'm like I this is somebody who is exactly where they need to be. It's so it's
Thank
but
you.
like for real, like come on.
That means so much coming for you because I know you're very observant and you don't bully. So
Yes.
that means a lot. And thank you for noticing because that is how I feel. Like I do feel like I do need that moment to kind of show the kids to be like this isn't a teacher student moment. It is, but it's not like a power
No.
construct or whatever the word is
A
that and
hierarchy.
just we're just here to make art exactly.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's what me and you link together a bit. We both remember what we felt like as children. I still hold on to that so much that I think that that's come through in my job where it's like I remember how I felt and I remember adult influences of my life and what that felt like. And now I want to change that with also keeping in mind that there is a difference between adult and child. Like, I'm not your friend.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, there also has to be that boundary of respect, but like that happy medium of like, I'm not here to ruin your freaking day and I don't already have negative thoughts of you. And this is just supposed to be something fun
Mhm.
and not that serious. So, thanks for noticing.
Well, and I'm sure you get a ton of feedback from people. Like think about it. You've now been operating for 8
7
7
years.
years.
Yeah, 7 years in, July.
Congratulations. 7
Yeah,
years
I didn't
is
tell anyone, I forget every year, I
I didn't post. I hit 8 years this year, and
don't
I didn't post it. I was like, oh, who
Yeah,
cares, whatever.
but I'm still here.
But no, but like the amount of people that you've connected with over, especially in the Windsor Essex area, because that's where you're based.
Oh, yeah,
Think about how
I've
many.
learned a lot.
Sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
no, it's just because the audio. Like I'll cut this out, but like it's because the audio. Every time I speak, if we speak at the
Mhm.
same time, it cuts you off, and I
It
hate
goes
that
like
my audio cuts you off. So I'm
yes,
like say it again, like.
and I'm a cutter offer, so
So am I.
I'm gonna practice that.
but But no, like the amount of people that I've seen in the art lab who have like shifted their perspective on art because like I remember running classes with you and or like visits from schools and you see a
Yeah,
lot of the boys are like I don't know and then by the end of the day they're like so in it and they're like oh art is cool like we can have fun.
yes. I didn't wanna say I told you so, but
Hmm.
you had fun, didn't you?
Yeah.
And always, it's not like every once in a while that happens. It is each and every time. And even camp, some boys like, this was actually really fun. And then like one of the people that work there, they were like, "Yeah, like everyone always likes this camp." And I thought about it and I was like, there's not one child that has been like, "No, this isn't for me." Not one, Gio. Like, I would be like, "Yeah, there's the couple."
Hmm.
Never, never. We're on to something
Hmm.
here.
It's you as a person though. I think like, and I get the same feedback when it comes to like my own work where
Mhm.
it's like you make this a fun experience. Like a lot of times I get clients who come in and they feel so overwhelmed because it's something creative, it's not what they're used to. They don't know. They think of it much bigger than what it actually is when it comes to
Mhm.
creating a brand or creating a website, whatever. And I always say to them like, this is fun. This is the creation. Like once this is established, you got to hit the ground and like hustle to keep this going. But in the beginning, like this is the time where it's like co-creation, right? Where and also our
Yes.
personalities, like we're easy to get along with. Like if somebody doesn't get along with me, like that's on you. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what to fucking say to you, but like
Yeah.
you are the problem, not me.
Sometimes I see things about fake niceness and people who are like
Yeah.
fake nice, like they're the worst people out there, whatever. And I sometimes wondered myself, I'm like, am I that fake nice
No.
person that's like,
No.
I'm actually a bitch, but
No.
like I just act so cheerful and nice and whatever. But
No.
no, I know that's not true because I've thought about it and I'd be like, well, my actions speak louder than whatever person who's like, I don't know, miserable,
Yeah.
saying that people who are kind are actually fake. Like, so then I guess we're all just supposed to be rude. I just want to have fun all the time.
Hmm.
Like, I want to have as much, it's cheesy, but as much positivity as I can possibly have because that is what makes me feel good and what people around me feel. And when I'm working with kids, if you don't keep the energy high and the energy good, things go down really fast.
Hmm.
And when you're having an experience, even when I was at work and I'd work at Starbucks, like, let's put on some good music. Let's talk about each other's lives. Tell me about your ex. Like, let's
Yeah.
let's talk some tea. Let's joke around. Let's enjoy this day.
Hmm.
And the thought of that being portrayed as something like, oh, she just, like,
But if
is,
somebody thinks that, sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. If
yes.
somebody thinks that, f them. Like that is not accurate. Like that's their perception of you. That is false. Like at the end of the day, like, and this is what I'm working through in therapy right now. Is like my perception of self is so different from certain people's perception of me, and I'm at a
Hmm.
point now where I'm like, I am not that thing. I am not the
Hmm.
thing that people not, and I don't really get this a ton. Like I'll be honest, but like when there are those moments of like I can be, this, that, and the other, it's like, A,
Same.
that's old. That's old Geo. Geo's evolved. Geo's not that person anymore. And if you can't meet me where I'm at, I saw this thing online where it was like people who continue to not pigeonhole, that's not the word, but people who continue to put you in that image of who you've been in the past and they can't accept the fact that you have evolved because it's a
Hmm.
reflection of them not evolving either. It's
Hmm.
their way of trying to have power over you or control over you
Hmm.
because they are trying to perceive you in who you've been, because the new version of you is they can't do the same thing, they can't have that same thing. And it's like, because like I used to be a, we know, like I was not like a super.
You had your armor on.
Yes.
You had your armor on. I knew the real you, and the only bitch part about you is your honesty and your no bull, which, take it or leave it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, if you want me to walk on eggshells, I
Yes,
guess,
100%.
then, maybe, and some people can't handle it, and then you're not for them, right?
Yeah.
And like, that's fine. That's fine for everybody, but that's just who you are. And if people aren't gonna accept that, well, I guess you have to hang out with me then. No, those other go
But
away.
like,
Just kidding.
but listen, no, but it's true. Like to me, I'm like, why would you want to be friends with somebody who's not going to tell you the truth? And it's not like it. And like, I think the evolution of Geo has been where I can deliver the same message in a much more diplomatic way. Whereas
Yeah.
before, I'd be like, you need to dump his ass. He's a piece of shit, blah, 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 or whatever it is, And then now I'm like.
Okay. We're still like that.
I have to say, the first like bit, especially when it's like I'm interviewing somebody I don't really know. Like I am still, I notice that I'm like a little bit less like me, but like having you
Mhm.
on, I'm like, I need this on a daily basis.
I know.
Like,
I got my legs crossed. I'm already like getting comfortable.
yeah.
I need to remember. Oh my god.
Remember
Actually,
what?
let me grab a Kleenex
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
One
go for
sec.
it. I'm making Sam cry.
I don't know why. Liquids just leave my body every time I laugh. It's just all of them. Sometimes when I even pee my pants, like I'll do it if I'm laughing hard enough.
I want that on a shirt. Liquids leave my body.
I am not a dry.
So I want to go back a little bit and just a little bit because this hasn't been that long since you've done this. So you've been operating the art lab for what, 5, 6 years before you made the big leap?
Yes, 6 years. Just in February is when we closed.
And so you went from a brick and mortar, you had your location on Ottawa Street here in Windsor,
Hmm.
to a fully mobile creative service. So what
Yes.
was talk to me a little bit about the catalyst of like that change, and like what was the most like what the moment that made you realize like this way we're doing things is like not working anymore?
The big dream was always to have the brick and mortar. I always wanted to have a studio. It just this was I thought that was completely out of my reach, first of all. Like I would just dream about it and
Mhm.
like but nothing else like that existed nor was like thriving somewhere. I was like, how are you going to do that? So that was like the big dream. Slowly that turned into, instead of the art lab being for me, it felt like I was doing everything for the art lab.
Mm,
So, like every waking moment was spent thinking about the art lab, even if I didn't want to. A subconscious worry in the back of my mind, like just about my staff, about all, like just the operations, the ideas, the supplies, like the bills, of course, the rent, all that stuff. It just kind of made me, I don't know. I stopped being who I was.
yeah.
I was exhausted every day. It would start from the minute I opened my eyes till the minute I went to bed. And I'm like an emotional person, as you know. So like being big boss of a company that's making X amount of dollars, like for someone like me that doesn't know, kind of what, sorry, I need to turn the light up on my screen, that doesn't know how to run business things
Mhm.
or whatever. I don't have a degree in that. So it just became really overwhelming.
Yeah.
And when my lease was coming to an end, and my landlord wanted to increase the rent. It wasn't anything crazy, and the rent was already pretty reasonable considering, even though there's all issues with the building. But I just thought to myself, like, maybe this is time to stop.
Mhm.
And then I just started to explore the idea of like losing the stress. That's literally the main point. It wasn't about money, although money was definitely a factor. You
Yeah.
know how things are going today.
Mhm.
Rent is through the roof, bills are through the roof, paying staff through the roof, and still an unfair wage, in my opinion. And just all the technology, the keeping up with social media, it was consuming me, Gio.
Mhm.
So the thought of having that go away, I knew that was the answer to a lot of the issues that I have been constantly talking about. And I knew that if I didn't make this move, all the issues that I have were just going to continue to go on. Even though I felt like I was in too deep and it was like almost like throwing my dream away or whatever, I was like, this needs to stop at some point. This needs to end. And after going through the different pros and cons, I saw that like I needed to make my life smaller
Yeah.
in every way. I plan on moving to a smaller house. I don't want to have 20 Netflix, Disney, this, that subscription. I don't want to have this lesson. I don't want to have this sign up for this program and all this stuff. There's just like, it's crazy. Like, it's like I have ADHD, but I think I just have a too full schedule of too many things that a human needs to manage.
Mhm.
So I felt like, just like with opening the art lab, I would not get a result unless I made a move that I was afraid to make. And then once again, I made the move I was afraid to make. And now I'm just thrilled with my decision because all of the issues I was having, everything I was constantly complaining about, feeling bad about every day, I took it away. I took it out. And I let some people down, mostly myself, honestly, but like in the end it was worth it, and I'm still here and I'm still doing it in my own way that works for me, and it's just a step, just like everything.
You're gonna make me cry. I'm so happy for you.
Do you feel me?
I'm so happy for you. Like because I've been with
Thanks,
you
G.
along this. Sorry. I've been with
You
you. Yeah, I've been with you along this whole thing, and
I
like I know
know.
how much it caused anguish. And like the thing is like
Yeah.
to we are so like we're so programmed to like just like hustle and push and grow and
Mm-hmm.
expand, and sometimes it's like that's not the answer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and for you to listen and actually like I know this was a big step for you, and it was like you it was like what, like a year, 2 years, like you were kind of like thinking about it.
I've been talking to you about this for a while. Like
Hmm.
when I was really down in the
I
dumps,
know,
you
that's
know,
why I'm getting
call
emotional. I'm like, I
call
know.
Uncle Gio. Exactly. I know. And stop because you're gonna make me cry.
Hmm.
But I know that you've seen me
Yeah.
like just struggling through all this and trying to guide me, and yeah,
When I
and
have
you
no
did.
guide for myself. Like,
No, but you did. You did. Having like a very motivated friend that likes to think in black and white and that likes to think practically and in the best interest
mhm.
of the human being,
Yeah.
not just me, but like just overall well mental health and all that stuff. You've always pushed me like towards that direction, and you've always kept me accountable for the choices I'm making. So I can't just give up or just be a bum.
Even though, listen, I on some level, I'm like, yeah, it would be so nice to never work again, but that's just not an
Wouldn't it?
option. But no, like
No.
the thing is, like you made a decision that made sense for you, that could keep it going. And like sometimes the vision that we have for ourselves changes. It's like once we achieve
Yes.
the thing that we want, then we're like, how do we keep it going? You can't be the same forever. An example of that was when I went to school and I was like, oh, I want to work in advertising, I want to work in marketing, I want to work at an agency. And then I did
Mhm.
it. And when I got there, I was like, I don't like this. Like, this is not for me. So, how do I take
Mhm.
this vision that I had and adjust it to keep this going in a different way? And it's like,
Mhm.
our generation also is the type that we're not doing the same thing for 30 years. Like, we just can't. That's just not our
No.
thing. You know what I mean?
I'm just glad that, we have a nice circle of therapy going
Hmm.
here where we can hash these things out and figure out what we want to do. And we need to accept, both you and I, that it's not always going to be the same.
Yeah.
Things are just changing,
Hmm.
especially in your industry. You can just keep doing the same. You have to be able to pivot as well as make money during this process. Like we can't just be pivoting around, just not paying our bills. Like that's not a thing.
So, at this point, you've been now, how long has it been that you've been mobile?
Since February, so March, April, May, June, July, like 6 months, roughly.
And how's it been going? Because like now you're kind of like a free bird to basically go
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah. And I like pick and choose what I want to do. And it's really awesome. It's going really good. I've been fortunate enough to, like, I've been doing all those things at Colasantes, and our market is like the same. Like, it's moms that want to do stuff with their kids. So
Hmm.
we've been selling out every time. And it's like, I just go, I bring my stuff, and all my stuff is here. Before, it's like when I had to go to a field trip, I'd have to go into the studio, wait for the parties to be over so then I could pack my stuff. Otherwise, I'd be really distracted and whatever. So now it's like I have everything's here. And if I think of something, I have a lot of ideas while I'm like in the shower and stuff. I can just like run down and like start chopping stuff up or making things for it. And I arrive at the correct time. It's not the wrong.
Whoa!
I set up, I do my thing. It's like, and we're all here for fun. So it's just a pause. So then we have our fun. I pack up my stuff and I leave at the right time. Before it's like, you're supposed to come at a certain time before the birthday party is set up. People are showing up 2 hours early because they're excited. There's every different type of person out there. And like the leaving part, some people like stay like so late. And I'm like, okay, I want to go home. Now I can just like, all right, bye everyone. That's my time. Bozo the clown's out of here. So, and same with the camp. It's like, before I felt like I was so limited to being creative when I was like in the studio. Now
Mhm.
it's kind of just become my whole life. And like, if I don't want to work a weekend, the studio's not open. So I don't book a birthday party. And then now all of a
Mhm.
sudden I get to hang out with my kids again. So
Who would have
it's,
thought?
who would have thought? That was another pivotal moment too, where I was like, "Okay, they're 9 and 8, or 7 and 10, or sorry, 10 and 8 now. Holy crap! Where's the time gone?" I opened this
I
when
know.
Josephine was born. I was like, I've been so distracted, and even though I feel like because of what the business was, I was able to incorporate them a lot into my work, which was fortunate. You don't usually get to do that, but I still was always just so distracted and I wasn't as calm and fun as I think I used to be, just as a person in general, just because of all the
Hmm.
stress. So I was like, this is my last chance to also cut that off so that I can reconnect at what really matters. Because when we're on our deathbed, what are we going to be thinking of? Not the business. We're going to think about the people we love. So that was like a an awesome part of going mobile that has been good for me.
I think having kids too is like a different energy for you because that will make you connect with that energy in the sense of, oh, I do need to actually like be a part of my life. Like I don't have kids, so like for me, like my business is my child. And so that child is a whiny, attention seeking individual. And so I'm constantly giving it energy. And I'm like, it's funny the timing of you saying this because yesterday was listening to a podcast with Paloma Faith and she was interviewing Trixie Mattel.
Mhm.
And she was talking about her regrets in like her career. And she was like, one of my biggest regrets is the fact that I didn't spend enough time in the early days when I really like picked up my career with my family. Like I miss birthdays. I would, because of work, I would miss, holidays because of work. I would not see people because of work. And
Mhm.
this past year I've been like ramping up my life, especially because of the podcast. I've been working way more. The first 6 months I'm like, I barely did anything. Like I've been in this room working,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, not glued to my computer, and I'm like, I can't get that back. And I'm like, and it's not like I'm 25. I have my whole life ahead of me. Not to say I'm old, but you know what I'm saying, like a
I
decade
feel.
less of life is a decade, right?
Mhm. Yeah, well that was just you going through the motions though of life, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, and I feel like between you and I, it's like our we never know what's coming next and we're always trying to figure that out when
Mm-hmm.
we really need to step back and like just make the observation of where we are now because
The
that's what
reality.
joy is, right? It's living in the moment and just
Mm-hmm.
noticing what we already have versus what we want. But you need to make a conscious choice to do that. It doesn't just
Yeah.
happen.
How would you advise anyone who's like listening that has their own business, has their own like side hustle, whatever, to actually be able to separate the mind and the heart and like really make a decision that makes sense for them as a person and not just be like, oh, this is the thing I think I need to do?
I don't think it's a choice for a lot of people, and I don't think it's something that a lot of people can do. I feel like if you were going to choose to have a family and you're going to choose to have a relationship or in a business, I feel like in order to be successful, you're going to have to cut out one of those areas where you're going to lack because as much as I wanted to choose, to be more present at home and to be more have more time for myself and have more relaxation, I think you can't do it cuz like look at you, look at me, look at Sawyer. It's like we're these three different personalities. We couldn't be more different from each other
Hmm.
and we all struggle with the same thing.
Yeah.
And especially separating the heart, Geo, it's like if you say one bad thing about me, even though I think you're stupid and ugly and horrible and terrible, worst person ever, you hurt my feelings. And I don't like it. And I'm going to think about it for like 72 hours and beat
Uh-huh.
myself up over it and wish, death on you and all these horrible things that I don't really feel,
Yeah.
but so to like try to give someone advice on how to separate that, the only thing that's helped me was to lessen my load and was to step away from the area that wasn't serving me
Hmm.
or the area that was kind of making things not go well for me. My advice is just to clear your plate. And I know that's something me and you have been talking about, clearing our plate, taking things off our plate, because we always just have so much to do, especially being creatives. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
have 40 ideas since we've started this conversation. So tell us ourselves to stop doing that or I don't know, I feel like you have to choose. Give yourself less stuff to do. And if you don't want to be overwhelmed, well, go work for someone else and be
Hmm.
sad about other things.
Yeah. In a previous episode, episode 21, so Jose Maldonado, he was talking about how I think a mentor of his said that as a creative or as an entrepreneur, like in order to, I'm paraphrasing here, I can't remember the exact verbiage, but in order to like hit your stride or succeed, like there's like two women that you need in your life, and one of them is boredom, and then I'm blanking on the other one, but specifically it was the
I want to
boredom piece.
know.
And it was, and he, oh, what, boredom and what?
Why don't you look it up? Do you remember?
Oh, God, hold on. Yeah, give
I
me a
need to know
second.
the two women now.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, well, you're looking it up. I'm gonna murder this fly. My lights are too strong. It wants to hang out with me.
Oh, that's honestly fair. I never thought of that. Oh, okay, I got it. So he said, um, so it was boredom and loneliness, as
Okay.
and to me, I think like the boredom piece, like I'm never bored in the sense that I'm always adding more to my plate, and I realize that like I do need like space. I need time and space away from work and doing
Yes,
things in order to like get recharged, and like I don't do that much.
you don't, and neither do I. Like mentally, I feel like
No.
both our brains are just always going. And I would love for someone to give me the answer on how to do that, because you were asking me like about my ideas or something earlier, or maybe
Hmm.
it was in the intake, but you were just saying moments of solitude and things like that. And I was just
Hmm.
thinking about when I'm not on my phone, when I'm in the shower. That's what I said. I was in the shower and I'll think of an idea. It's like that one part of my day where I'm not being stimulated by something and I'm
Yeah.
just alone with my own thoughts. And that's when the ideas are coming to me. So it says a lot that the silence, the loneliness, the boredom is when I can actually function, if that makes sense. Because there's
Yeah.
just so many distractions that I feel like that's true. So the two women, loneliness and boredom,
Hmm.
you need to know them to be able to be more creative.
Yeah, to me, I'm like, I don't ever. My boredom is like when I close my laptop at the end of the day, and then I
Hmm.
have dinner, and then I subsequently pass out. Like I'm becoming my father, where I'm falling asleep like every night because I just can't stay up because I'm so like,
I feel that. I don't even know the word boredom anymore. Like
yeah,
it's not a thing. And yeah, that's crazy to think we're never bored anymore. And
no, and like that's
kids
crazy.
nowadays, kids are not bored anymore either, because there's too many things to distract them
Hmm.
from having to think or having to be bored and having to come up with independent ideas and things like that. And our lab is a good thing for that, I think.
Yeah,
It's almost like entertained boredom. You're taking your boredom and you're doing things to stimulate that, that's not your phone or a show or your stress. It's the best.
100%. And so like now that you're mobile, like
Hmm.
you had kind of mentioned before this that you are dreaming on like traveling more with the art lab. So like what's the ultimate like art lab on the road adventure that you are envisioning currently, and like what kind of projects are you most excited about bringing to new places?
I'm not like a huge travel bug person that wants to go like, backpacking through trenches of sorts. But I'm a robe in a hotel kind of gal.
Uh-huh.
But my original message with the art lab was that art is for everybody, right? Remember
Hmm.
we were talking about that, coming up with the branding and stuff like that? And that still holds so true to this day, where art is for everybody. And I want it to get out of Windsor, not just Windsor, because I've gone and I've done camps in Toronto. There's just nothing else like it, in my opinion. And it's this experience that I feel like so many people are missing out on, where it's just so important because of all the reasons we already discussed on how important it is to incorporate creating and process make art making into children's lives. And everybody's missing out on it because there's a bunch of people in charge that don't understand, they don't know. And it's, yeah, so I would love to be able to just kind of branch out. I go to a little town up in wherever in Canada and bring my stuff and do that. The ultimate dream would be to have like a camper trailer of sorts, not something motorized, like not like a bus, okay? I don't do repairs, okay? I need it to be and just like have it fun decorated and just take it around and like have kids see it, cuz parents, you get it, but you don't get it, okay? When they see this through
Hmm.
their eyes, if they saw this colorful thing where I get to go up to that thing and like make stuff, and like she's got all these colorful things and all these tools and all this clay and whatever, that is pure magic for a child and for a lot of adults similar to you and I who still remember that and
Yeah.
really had positive influences in our life in like kind of like the art department. And I would love to just kind of spread that out and not just be stuck here. Not that I'm stuck here. I love it here. See, our dreams have really changed, but just bring it out and possibly, get some free trips out of it. If I'm being real, like I would love to travel and I would love for this to be something that can help me do that.
Hmm.
I've done it where I've gone to like Toronto, I've said, and it's like I paid for my hotel and I paid for everything, all my stuff and whatever. But because I did the field trip, it like offset the cost. So I was able
Hmm.
to have a vacation while doing what I love.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I mean by the traveling thing. It's like I just kind of want to be able to live my life, go where I want to go, be with my family, go visit friends, and also be able to have my work go with me.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever that may be, a conference out somewhere where I talk about process art and things. And that would be ultimately the goal in terms of travel and going around.
It's so funny. We go through these moments in our lives, like you said, like we talked about the shifting from the brick and mortar to the mobile. And like in the
Hmm.
moment, you're like, oh my God, this is this big decision. It's this big thing. And it's like causing you stress. And then now you're feeling
Hmm.
relief from it. But if you know, having known like our conversations from 15 years ago to now, and like looking at it from a bird's eye view, I'm like, oh, that was all meant to be because you are literally manifesting your vision of you becoming Miss Frizzle with the magic school bus. Like
Love
you're
her.
you're literally becoming that image that you've had in your head of like, yeah, like Miss Frizzle has always been something that has come up, and like you're
Hmm.
that cool art teacher that's like connecting with the kids and bringing them on adventures, and now you're gonna have a mobile version of that. Like how fucking fun is that?
Really, truly. And like that's the kind of thing where I need to step back and like appreciate that I'm actually living what feels
You're
like my
doing it.
purpose. But do you remember Mr. Dress Up?
Yeah.
Okay, I know you're only like a year younger than me, but Mr. Dress Up. Okay, so Mr. Dress Up, he was my boy. Okay, I
Hmm.
thought he was the coolest. He was a grandpa. Okay, and he was my idol. And he would do a craft time every episode. Sometimes he wouldn't, and I'd storm up the stairs. I'd be like, "Mr. Dress Up didn't even do a craft today," and I would be so mad. And my mom, she still like laughs at me for that because I'd be so pissed that he didn't do a craft. But when he would do the craft, okay, he would sit at his desk and inside his drawers and cupboards and things, he had tape and scissors and whatever. As I was watching this, I would mimic him. So I would open a pretend drawer and pull out scissors from under the coffee table and like open
Oh.
pretend things and like mimic him. And as I'm getting older, the more like manifesting, I
Hmm.
felt like I was manifesting my future. Like my body was going through the motions of this thing that was
Yeah.
so dear to me. It's just come full circle, not even on purpose. I wasn't like going to school being like, yeah, I want to be like Mr. Dress Up. I want to be Mr. Dress
Hmm.
Up. I'm gonna, start doing these things. I want to work with kids so I can eventually become Mr. Dress Up. No, but I ended up becoming Mr. Dress Up somehow. And I
I
was
love
like,
it.
that is the power of the manifestation that people talk about and how you just come full circle if you
Hmm.
listen to yourself. So not everybody has the opportunity though to do a lot of things, right? Like
Of course.
I was fortunate enough where just the way things worked out with having, a great circle of friends and positive influences, I was able to like look within and do things, not everybody has that, which that's another part of the art lab that I want to be able to reach kids with. Once again, super cheesy, but a lot of the kids can't come into the studio. They would have never got to come into the studio, and the mobile aspect of it takes that out of it. So now I'm reaching kids who would have never had this experience, and I believe it's a positive impact. So,
You're connecting with more people like in a way that maybe wasn't possible before, and
mhm.
you're showing up with your cheery self, and you're it's literally like, let's have a good time. That's
Yes,
what it is, right?
that's the basis of my belief system. I think, like, let's just have a good time because life is hard enough as is, and ugh, I just don't like serious stuff. It's just not for me. There's a place
Listen,
for it.
there's a place, but like, and this is the thing that I don't like connect with is this constant like, well, there's all this info, we're being thrown so much information 24/7. And I'm like, if we're so focused on this, and like, yeah, we know what's going on. Like, it's not like it's not something that's like shoved down our throats. But at the same time, I'm like, that approach doesn't necessarily leave room for play or for joy or for, exploration in a way that is human. Like we need that in our lives, right?
Mhm. Truly, it's like part of our genetics or
Hmm.
whatever you would call that. It's literally we are made up. We're meant to create. We're meant to
Hmm.
play, and we don't do enough of it, to be honest. And it's I feel like it's the foundation of life, but
Hmm.
I'm super passionate about it. So it's hard to understand, but especially after my 7 years of doing this, I've really I've gotten proof through the this whole process of having the
Hmm.
art lab. I've proven my original belief that art is important, creating art is important, and that
Yeah.
is the foundation of childhood and learning and self-esteem and all these things. And every time I do a workshop, I get proven that, and it's clear as day. It's not like, oh, maybe I think they're getting this. No, it's happening. The words are being said, the actions are being taken, and it matters. So,
So you mentioned workshops. I know you do a lot of birthdays as well. And so one of the things that I noticed in your intake form when you had written a little bit of info on like what we wanted to talk about, like you talked about how like 99% of your birthday parties were planned and implemented by moms. Like what is it about women showing up for their kids that you find so inspiring?
well, that's just one of the things that I noticed. You know how you kind of gather data on people and
Hmm.
experiences after you've
Yeah.
done the same thing over and over again? And that was one of the things that kind of was eye opening for me. Once I looked back and I saw everything, I was like, I don't know, remember if I was having a conversation with someone, but I was like, looking back, every single birthday party that I've ever had at the art lab has been put on by a mom. It's
Mm.
always a mom or a grandma, or it's always a mom. I don't know. Obviously, there's like the great dads, the great grandpas that are involved. I had a grandpa once like sign up his granddaughters. He thought they would love it. They ended up being lifers, and I still love them to this day.
I love
Like
that.
there's always that exception, but the fact that looking back and now being a mom myself, and I'm realizing that it was always the mom, it was so inspiring to me. Just the fact of how much magic moms make. And like when you think back to your childhood, what do you think of? Like the Christmases you had, and not like the presents you got, but like the tree. Like my mom used to like put tinsel on the ground, and like
Hmm.
you would see that when you woke up in the morning, and like your birthday party, like
Tinsel on the ground. My mom's nightmare.
never. She'd be following you with a vacuum.
The Swiffer.
I remember she walked in your room one day and was like, "This room is disgusting. There was one sock on your bed, one sock." I was like, "This is the cleanest room I've ever been
So to
in."
anyone listening, if you think I'm a crazy person, this is why. Blame
Oh my
Angela.
god. Angela was the best looking back. But that's another thing. Your mom, everything these moms are doing all
Yes,
comes back to how much they freaking love you.
of course.
Every
Yeah.
crazy thing your mom ever did was because she wanted you to have the best, succeed, and just have a great life. And she was
Hmm.
like, "This is what you need to do, and I'm going to make you do it because I love you that deeply that I'm going to stress the out over what you're doing because I love you so much." And all while doing that, she created magic in so many ways, signing you up for your art lessons when your
Yeah.
dad wanted you to go work on the construction site. Like it was your mom, that was like
100%.
doing all that stuff. And yeah, and it's crazy just because it's just so inspiring. Like I was saying, that the moms, they don't, it's not about the price of the cake. It's not about what you spent. It's not about what you bought. It's about the fact that they see you and they know something you love, and they make it happen for you. They want you to have a best day. That's all about you. And as we get older, part of holding on to the childhood magic is these moments that, moms are just putting on. And it's so cool to see how badass women are with their kids and how much they really, rich or poor, do whatever they can. And it's just cool, really cool. And that was a nice thing I noticed about the art
Yeah.
lab.
Yeah, and the thing too is like now that we're at an age where a lot of you and our friends are having kids, it's
Mm-hmm.
this you see that, and like I've seen it with women in my own family where a lot of times, most of the time, like women will put themselves second before
Yeah.
everybody else in their lives. And in some way, shape, or form, the way that, especially, and like I speak for myself, like I only know like my mom, the reason I'm in a creative industry is because of my mother. Like she's the one that
Yes,
was like,
exactly
you're,
my point.
yeah. And like I'm here I am now, 20 plus years later. And I'm like, the reason I'm here is because my mom was like, yeah, we're going
Hmm.
to put you in art classes outside of school at the age of 10. And then that was that. And it was like, I had a moment where I was like, I'm going to be a lawyer. And then that died very fast. And then I was like, she literally came to me. She's like, there's a school in Toronto, OCAD, that does graphic design. Like, I think you should go there. Even though she was like, I don't want you to leave. But
Hmm.
I did it anyway, and it's
Yeah,
all because of her, right?
I had a similar moment where my mom said something to me, which was kind of shocking coming from her. You know, my mom. I remember when I wanted to move to Toronto, like, what would you think she would say? Probably no, right?
Yeah.
Or like, that would be my, at that time, obviously, I'm old now, but like,
Hmm.
at that time, I assumed the answer would be no. What did she say? She said, just go. She's like, if you don't like it, then just come home. And I was like,
Oh,
you're
so
right.
simple.
Like, I was scared, but if I don't like it, I'll just come home. And now I've like used that quote when I'm trying to encourage other people to do things. I'm like, if this doesn't work out, you just stop. You're nervous to try these lessons. Like, if it doesn't work out, just go home. And like, that has kind of like, like stuck with me.
It's also something almost like they are telling them like themselves, like if they were like a little version of themselves to you and to me as their kids, like saying,
Hmm.
just try it. Like maybe it's something that they wouldn't have done. You know what I mean? But they're like, and now they're like, you're the next gen. Go do the
Hmm.
thing that I didn't do.
Hmm.
And yeah, like that's I feel like that's how everybody should approach life. Let's like
Hmm.
and if it doesn't work, it's okay. Except
Yeah.
some of us
Just
take
go
it too hard.
home.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
go.
and some people can't go home. Some people can't go home. And some people it's like if you're putting everything on the table, you don't have a home anymore because you put the home on the table. So, but in the appropriate, scenario, I feel like it's a really good
Hmm.
analogy or like a really was that the word analogy
Yeah,
or
I'm not an
yeah.
English teacher.
No, our English teacher. Let's do a podcast about her.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Iron
about.
Mike the key.
I thought you were talking about the tall one, the man.
Oh my god. I was laughing the other day and
Symbolism.
there was a TikTok Leah sent me, and she's like, "Why were we grinding on each other in front of our English teacher at dances?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah! Like, why did I think it would be appropriate to grind with someone in front of Mister? So weird. What are we
Well,
doing?"
I wasn't grinding in high school. I was very in the closet, so I was doing none of that.
Yeah, I just spent a lot of time with the sausages hanging in your basement.
You're gonna kill me.
Sorry, that was kind of.
That's hilarious. No, I love it.
Why did I put makeup on for this?
Oh my god.
I was the
Ugh.
one eating the sausage, so that was the best part. Your dad every time I come over, he'd slice me off a couple of rounds. I was like,
He
yes.
still does, honestly.
Oh, it's the best, the
Oh, some
best.
prosciutto. Mm.
Okay, now I'm crying.
I'm clipping this. Oh my god, I'm so
What
hot.
were we talking about?
um, I I'm gonna switch gears
Yeah.
because okay, so we're talking about our friendship, and so like I want to go a little off script and say like we've known
Yes.
each other now over 20 years. Not to like talk about me, but with you, I feel like I can do this.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So like no having known each other now over 20 years, like what is the
Yeah.
most unexpected way our friendship has impacted your creative journey or your business? Like we kind of touched on a little bit, but
this kind of goes back. I know we met on the bus and we kind of just, our humor really aligned. So, like, we really just clicked instantly in that way. But there was one incident in particular where, for me, it was impactful. It was the board game we made in Madame Berger's class. I
Mm-hmm.
remember you and I were partners, okay? And what was it? What kind of class? History or something boring or something that I don't like? Something you were getting an A and you were my partner for everything, so I didn't fail. And the assignment was to make a board game. And you and I got together that night, and two creatives, we went above and beyond. We like built all this, we decorated, we painted, we had a treasure box that you broke in the parking lot with the, do you remember that with the candies? You
Yes.
probably forget. You brought a dish. Anyways, and I remember just having so much fun like making that game with you, and I just felt like I was with a kindred spirit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is that the right word, where
Yeah.
you feel like you're just with like someone that vibes with you? And it was so fun. And then the next day we brought into class. No one else gave a fuck. Everyone had like a cereal box with like squares drawn on it. Like, they did not give a fuck. Me and you was like this colossal sculpture of a board game. She even called the principal, who also didn't give a fuck. He was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I'm like, "Okay, you don't get it." But anyways, we made this and we had so much fun. And I just remember that sticks out my mind to me because we were being creative together. We were doing school together and we were just like having so much fun, just like making stuff and coming up with the ideas. And I felt like after that, we kind of like kept that going with our art, where we were both just like feeding off of each other's creativity all the time. So, and that's what I loved and that's what I cared about. And you also loved and cared about that. So, I think you kept that alive in me even throughout our 20s when, we're partying, we're thinking about boys and like just drinking and like doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that, when that was so crowded in our lives, you and I still always had that creative element that we always kind of held on to. I didn't have that with Sawyer, I didn't have that with Leah, I didn't have it with Mark, I didn't have, all my other friends, my siblings. You were the person that, we always just loved art in all shapes and forms, whether that be performance or whether that be like makeup, hair, fashion, whatever it was. Like, we always had an opinion.
Yeah.
And I feel like that part of my friendship really kind of cultivated my artistic side, as well as you just encouraging me and just like manifesting it in me. And like that, it was huge. It had a huge impact on art lab and everything. And just, you're like a therapist. So you always getting me to like channel my inner feelings and believing in me and things like that. Although I did have that from our other friends,
Of
it's like
course.
coming from an artist and a tough critic like you, it was like good. It was really helpful. And even not on the creative side, Gio, like the more technical side, the more orderly side of things, you always kept me in line. Where I was like, I'm not going to be some burnt out, starving artist, like, oh, nobody cares about my art and I can't make money. I'm an artist. It's like, no, that's not an excuse. You're going to wash your face, put your shoulders back. And if you want to do this art thing for a job, then we're going to figure out how. And I feel like we did that. Even through starting the art lab, who was sitting at me at the table with me, having a coffee, waiting for me while I'm late, and you know, and we're planning out our lives, right? And
Mm-hmm.
planning out our dreams and stuff like that. So huge impact, Gigi. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Honestly, it's like it just comes down to like the things that we have seen for ourselves from when we were kids, and by kids I mean like teens.
Hmm.
That wasn't something that was like public or like super promoted, like creative paths, and like now it's a different, like it's a very different landscape. But 20 years ago,
Hmm.
it was something where I'm like, we both have these things that we bring to the table that are, I'm not going to be a nurse. That's just never going to
No.
happen. I can't even look at the needle when I'm giving blood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just never going to happen. And so
Hmm.
knowing you and seeing like you have at the time, you have so much potential to do this thing. You have everything you need to make it happen. And when there's that slight like waffling of like, oh, I don't know, and I'm like, no, I'm like, this is viable. Like, you can do this. The things that you see for yourself, you can achieve it. And it's almost like I'm talking to myself when I say it, because it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because it's like the same thing where it's like we know the path that we've taken is not, it's not easy.
No. And I do feel like that's a big thing with you and I in our conversations. It's a lot of, why aren't I taking my own advice when I'm speaking to you, Gio? Like, why
Hmm.
aren't you taking your own advice when you're telling me things? And we do say that to each other sometimes. It's like, yeah, you should follow your own advice with that.
Yeah,
So it's nice to have like that kind of outside person. You can't see you,
it's hard.
It's like, so it's nice to have someone who can see you and know you and like exchange information and guidance with that information. It's a gift. I'll
It
say
is a
that.
gift. And think
Mhm.
about it, just that in itself, you having gotten to where you are now and having created the art lab, so many people have interacted with you through the art lab. You're inspiring a new generation of people to say, like, this is something that I can do. This is something that is a viable career path. Thousands and thousands of families you've affected, like you've dealt with. That's really crazy to think,
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I
it's in
mean?
the thousands for sure at this point.
Yeah.
I've sent out 1,000 kits in general, just one shot. So that's 1,000 kids right there. So it's a lot of people that, have been able to be impacted by the art lab. Hopefully in a positive way, but not
Absolutely.
everything's perfect, but yeah.
Nothing is perfect, but the fact that you're able to do it. And so, like, right now, where you are in this new phase of the business, to anyone listening who's either knows who you are or doesn't know what the art lab is, like, what would you want them to know about what the art lab is now that it is in its new form?
We're a mobile art service. We'll go to your house, we'll go to an event center, we'll go to your school, we'll go to a park, we'll go to community centers, pretty much anywhere, and bring bright, colorful art and fun to you. So if that's something you're looking for, we are the perfect person for that. We're really good at keeping kids entertained, having fun, and making memories, essentially cheesy, but it's true.
Hmm.
And I'm flexible with things. If you have a theme in mind or want to do something special, I'm pretty much open to anything. So don't be afraid to ask me any questions. Or I also love giving you business tips and ideas.
There's so much to do, and I can vouch firsthand of all of the excitement and the engagement that the kids do. Even the adults get involved in, like I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
going to the art lab and we had like adult parties where we were doing art. It's so
Oh, yeah.
fun.
I can't stop. I still do the same activities we've been doing over and over again just because I like it. Like the salad spinner art, like let me just make one more of these. Like it's a good time.
What would you say has been the most rewarding part of building the business that's like all about like sparking imagination and joy?
It's definitely the positive experiences that kids are having. Going back to us talking about remembering when we were kids and just the experiences we had, knowing that I'm giving these kids these awesome memories and making them feel valued, at times where maybe you or I didn't feel valued or not noticed or anything like that. Now I'm able to be the adult that gets to make sure you're noticed. Sometimes the kids will show me something, it's just like a smear, it's ugly, whatever it is, and I say, "That's amazing. Good job." And then another adult will be like, "Why do you lie to them? Like, why do you tell them it's amazing?" I'm like, I gave them the task, I gave them the tools, they stayed, they did the task, and they were proud and they showed it to me. They did
Hmm.
a good freaking job.
Yeah.
They did it. And it doesn't, there wasn't a right way, like a skill level or whatever. So I love that I can be that person to step in front of the person that says, I'm not going to lie to you, that sucks, and just tell you you're doing a good job because it's not that serious.
Yeah.
And the good job you did was enjoying yourself. You put your hand to the paper and you tried something, you did it, and you did a good freaking job, because sometimes that in itself is starting at a very young age we stop ourselves from doing because of fear or because of what
Yes.
someone said to us in the past. So it's just like I love being able to be that person to not ruin your good time and not step on your dreams and not be the person who takes away what it is to be an amazing human. So I think that's probably just the impact I've had on kids, even on families. Just giving them a positive experience in any shape or form
Hmm.
is an amazing gift you can give to someone, because we all so deeply need it as humans, that I think that's probably what I'm most proud of anyways.
You're
But
giving people a chance to check out of reality in a way that is not a distraction, like that is not scrolling on your phone, that is
Yes.
engaging with parts of ourselves that we ignore a lot.
Yes.
And at the same time, going back to what you said about, telling them like they did a great job, that in itself is you're showing these kids that not everything is about the result. It's about
Mhm.
the process. Like,
It's all about the process. Everything in life is about the freaking process. Everything. Unless we're going to pay attention to that, we're going to constantly be disappointed in ourselves or feeling like we're not enough, and because we're always trying to look at this end result. There is no end result. Happiness is not an end result. There's no
yeah.
finish line where it's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to be happy. I just want to be happy." There's no finish line, and happy is on the other side of it. Happiness is in small moments of time that come and go. And that if you don't pay attention to them and you don't actively seek out these moments of happy, you won't be happy. You'll never be
Mhm.
happy. And that's an unfortunate thing to miss out on. So, happy moments is where it's at.
Honestly, that's like such a good way to wrap up. I love it.
Do
It's
I
so
sound
true.
legit?
No, you do. But it is legit. Like, let's be real. Like,
Yeah, it
I said
is.
this in a previous episode. I'm like, what are we doing? Especially as adults, I'm like, we lose that wonder, that curiosity, and like
Yes.
technology is killing that in kids prematurely,
Oh,
which
it's
is
so bad.
it's so bad. And so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
if there's something that sparks joy, and like not to sound cheesy and like repeat what everyone else is saying, but like if it's something that you actually like to do, why are you not doing it? Like,
Yes.
the world is literally falling apart. Like, we don't have much time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's
We
get going,
don't.
you know?
We don't. And you really don't know how much time you have. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy to think that we just spend our whole lives just doing all these things that make us unhappy, and that's it's hard not to be like that though. You have to actively seek out to not be like that. So that's just annoying in itself, but it
Mhm.
is what it is.
But listen, Sam, you're
And
doing the damn thing. Like, truly,
thank you. You
you're
too.
inspiring me.
You inspire I already told you. You always inspire me. You always have inspired me, and I'm grateful for you.
I love you.
Love you. Now we
So,
kiss.
yeah.
Now kiss.
Oh my god. So I have one last segment that I ask
Okay.
every one of my guests. And so, because I'm a branding podcast, or at least like
Yeah.
I do branding, but I want to know, like, if you look at your life, you look at the trajectory of your life, what would you say is the most on brand thing about you?
Okay, so I've heard you ask this question before
Uh-huh.
to different people, and I always thought my answer was going to be that I close the business because I always like change what I'm doing. But I was thinking about it, and this is, I think you'll appreciate this because you know me personally. But I think the most on brand thing I've done was make a career out of making a mess. Because, I'm a messy bitch. I'm a messy I mess all day. Look at me. Right now a mess. You should see my setup. It's a hot mess. Everything is a mess. And now I've literally created a career out of making a mess.
I'm
So
obsessed.
that's why it's working because I'm just, going with
You're
who
on
I truly
brand.
am as a person. Insert picture of Sam's high school room here. But you
You'll have to
always
send
know
me
me to
that.
be a messy person. I've always been scattered. I've always been doing a million things at once, not putting things away. And just because I want to try it all at once, I want to do it all at once. And I know that there's other kids like that. Most kids are like that until we learn to like kind of control ourselves and realize that if we want to live
Mhm.
in utter chaos and everything's going to be chaos, we need to dial back. But I'm kind of encouraging the chaos and saying it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're gonna make a mess because we're trying to do something right now. And like because I relate to that on such a deep level, like spilling things and just fucking up in general. Like I feel like I'm good at that. Like it's a natural thing for me. So the fact that I made a career out of doing that is like pretty on brand, I guess you could say. So
That is the perfect answer. Honestly,
thank you. I was like, you know what? Gio would appreciate. You
I
know
love
me, so
it.
that's why you're like, yeah, like that's what you're like.
It's on the
My
money.
mom's
No,
gonna watch this.
hi, Kathy.
Yeah, hi mom. She's definitely watching before anyone else.
Yeah.
First viewer.
Oh yeah, honestly, I appreciate it so much.
Right? Me
But
too.
no, honestly, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being part of
You
this. Like,
too. Yes.
because we have history like this, the vibe I feel like is so like because I can just like kind of let my hair
Hmm.
down and chill. So I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, well, I feel like our friendship has like so much to do with our current employment and just growing up together. Two kids on the short
Mhm.
bus from the country who weren't meant to be in the country. Like we kind of
No,
clinged on to each other, and now like even when you were saying like, "Oh, not to talk about myself," I was like, "No, I'd love to talk about this. Like, let's go back. Let's
yeah,
decode how we got here." And like, it's crazy how things work. But yeah.
I know you. Who knew all those years ago, burning, pressing lighters into the back of the bus seat.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say burning CDs. We did that too, but yeah,
Oh, that
milk the
too.
seat on the bus. But we were both not.
All the mixtapes.
Yeah, we weren't bad though. You and I wouldn't dare get in trouble. So that was like
No.
another thing. I feel like we vibed together. So it's like we burned the seat, but like we did it once and we would not get caught because like
But that's also because you have a Chinese mother and I have an Italian mother. And so
yes,
there's that like we follow the rules. Like
we
we
were both
don't
suffering together with our crazy moms, not
Yeah,
allowed to do
immigrant.
anything, but we could ride our bikes to each other's houses. So it was okay. We made it work.
100%. Oh my god.
We're
But
studying, aka copying
yeah,
your homework.
still
But
never even when we get together we don't do our work.
no, it's a problem we have. But
Mm.
we did
Mhm.
something. We did this right
Yeah,
now.
here we are. Yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah.
So, on that note, so if anyone listening wants to get in touch with you when it comes to like booking a party or having you be at like their school event, like where can they reach out to you?
Email. Email me. I'm taking away all my messages, all my things, my 20 forms of communication where we could talk to each other, and it's
Hmm.
just email. If you wanted to DM me on Instagram or something like that, that's totally fine too. It just takes me a little while to get back. Sometimes I go through like phases where I'm like, I'm not answering anybody right now just because I'm overwhelmed and I'm just, but email for sure. It is team, TEAM, at theartlabwindsor.com.
And where's the Instagram? Where can they follow you?
My Instagram is just at artlab, ARTLAB. I somehow managed to get just the six letters. I'm on
Love it.
TikTok, the Art Lab. It's the Art Lab on TikTok. I'm trying to get into that more. I have a lot of followers on there somehow from a few viral videos, but I'm really just old for that. Facebook's
Yeah.
annoying. So anywhere else, yeah.
And to anybody who wants to reach out to me, you can reach out to me through my website at geographic.com for any design inquiries. Follow the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. I'm on YouTube. I would love a subscription, whatever it's called. Help me with the algorithm. Leave a comment, any of the above. It would be appreciated. Sam, I want to thank you once again for being part of graphic content. It means the world to me. I love you so much, and I cannot wait for what the next couple of years looks like for the Art Lab and for yourself.
Thank you, Gio. You are the best. I love you so much as well. And I'm just so grateful for your friendship and for you putting me on this and always making me shine and always just having my back. I love you so much. I wish you the best of luck on this podcast. I've watched a
Thank
bunch of
you.
episodes already now, and I've gotten to know all these new people through watching this and learned things. I've gotten even quotes that I'm already thinking of that I've heard some of your guests say. So just the
Mhm.
power of this communication that you're creating in Windsor. I know as someone who, I don't know, I've been on Instagram for a long time now and I've been in the public eye for a long time now. I know how much this can mean to someone. Like I'm like your bestie, so it's like yes, you asked
Yeah.
me, but like to be asked to do something like this and to for you to give people an opportunity to highlight what they do is is an impact in itself. So anything else you were to do on this planet, just doing these interviews amongst a billion other things you've done, you're making an impact in a positive way. So just kudos to you. And I'm super proud of
Thank
you.
you.
And let's
Thank
quit blowing
you.
smoke up each other's faces.
Yeah, that's
Mwah.
my
No
job.
kiss.
That's my job. Yeah. Okay. Mwah.
Mwah. Ew.
Bye. The
Okay, bye.
okay, bye.
Disgusting.